What's happening, Shredder Nation? Welcome to another official ER Shred launch. I am here with two of my favorite people on the face of this planet, Miss Heather Seeker Leonard and Susan Rothman. My name is Jesse James Jamick, and we've never met before. Hello, how are you? We are here tonight because we all very much deeply care about your success. We want to see you not just come into this ER Shred protocol and sneak through the 11 days. We want to see you crush and destroy anything that gets in your way. And we want to share some tips and tricks, and we want to pour some massive value into you. So please pay attention. Please take out a notebook. We're going to make sure that we give you the best of our best because again, we want to make sure that you have the best tracks to run on that are going to ultimately lead you down that path, not just for the next 11 days, but for literally the rest of your life, which is what we've seen so many people in our community doing, is radically shifting the habits for the rest of their life. So without further ado, Heather, we're going to jump to you to bring in some tips, some tricks, how to use our group, how to use our search bar, and all that amazing stuff. For those of you that don't know, Heather is the one that, without her, we don't have these files and guides and anything else. So please tell her thank you in the comments. And Heather, take it away.
And the other thing I'm going to say is if you brought people here, tag them in this video so they can get this education as well, because it really is so important to start your 11 days in the right space. And that's why the three of us love to come to you right before we kick off a group shred, because we understand the value of reviewing this. We know that these tools are constantly evolving because science is constantly evolving. Everything we're learning is constantly changing, but the core of what we do here in ER Shred is the same. So the biggest tool that we have is our Facebook community. So my hope is that when you came into this group, whoever invited you tagged you in our welcome post. So that's pinned at the top, featured announcements. And this post is really special because it brings you to the guide. See that blue hypertext at the bottom? That links you right to the guides area. And so when people say go to the guides, if you can't find the button for the guides, search the word welcome, and it will bring you to this welcome post, and click that link to bring yourself to the guides. The guides are organized in the sequence of the 11-day shred protocol. So as you're getting started, you really want to be familiar with guides 1 and 2. Guides 1 and 2 are the manual, the schedule, everything that you need. Are you ready to shred with information around the cleanse days and the shake days and meat meals? So those 2 guides are critical for you to review prior to starting your 11 days. Once you've gone through those 2, there's 2 more guides I really want you to spend some time in. Number 1 is guide 5, which is the mindset guide. We have so many tools and resources in here to help you get your head in the game for this. Some things that might come in the way that we know our bodies might feel like we're struggling, but they're really not. It's in your head because your body is designed to do this. So take a look through this guide 5 for mindset. The other guide that I want to recommend is tips and tricks. There are some people who come to the ER Shred who are not used to eating grass-fed, grass-finished beef. In that guide 6, there are tips and tricks from one of our chefs in the community, Brent Hoover. Brent has put together some tips and tricks to treating the grass-fed beef. A really important and powerful video is from our very own Susan Rothman, The Road to Empowerment, because this is an elimination reset. So this video is a great reminder of getting down that road to the narrow path. But there's a lot of valuable information in there as well. That spend some time, but getting into your 11 days, there's so much there because we have so much value. Guide 1 and 2 are your top priorities. Guide 5 is next in line for my recommendations because it is mindset. Guide 6 is tips and tricks. There's also somebody who said, I'm traveling during my 11 days. We actually reached out to the community and put together a post of tips and tricks for travel. So I highly recommend that guide as well, because I'm guessing if you're asking those questions, we probably have a resource for you. And even if you're an experienced shredder, go back through because these guides continue to evolve. Guide 8 is one of my favorites. That's Susan's Holistic Corner. That one, she's dropping knowledge and information around the Holistic Corner all kinds of information in there that's really valuable to us as well. And that guide keeps growing because she keeps throwing information out there. Where can you find the guides if you don't have the welcome post? Screen is projecting my cell phone. So you can see my Reels, rooms, and guides at the top underneath the ER Shred. Click that guides button and it brings you back to where you were. If you keep scrolling over, those tabs can actually move. And another place I would recommend looking is albums, because we have an album designed around ER Shred approved snacks. People are like, what can I have for a snack? Snacks are still real whole food as long as it's not a reset day. So this album is following the 11-day protocol in the grocery list that you can find in guides 1 and 2. All of these are snack ideas and recipes designed by shredders that do follow the Shred approved protocol. So that one is there for you. There's also a meat meal idea when people say, I don't want a steak every day. Here's some ideas that have been developed, again, utilizing ingredients that are approved on our 11-day protocol. So many ideas in here for recipes. Now, it's all great if you know where to go. So how do you find where to go when you're not sure? This magnifying glass, if you look at the top blue, it was blue. If I scroll down a little bit, if I pull it all the way down, it's the ER Shred banner. Right over the R in that banner is a magnifying glass. So it's going to allow me to search within the community for certain topics. You know, how do I incubate my shake? Well, let me look it up. INCUBATE, incubate. I can spell this time, guys. Nope, I can't. I can't type. I thought I was good and fat fingers didn't work. And it's going to pull up right to the guide around how to incubate your shake. Maybe I'm having a bit of head tension, so I'm going to search headache and still not type properly, but it's going to give me posts around headaches, and you will be able to find tips and tricks from shredders who have experienced those things during your first 11 days. Now, if you have shredders who are not in our Facebook community, all of these guides and information are on ershred.com. If you go to the protocols page, there is a button there as well that has all of the information. And then if you just need some motivation and some kind of uplifting to help get you through, and that mindset guide's not enough, under guide 4, there are links, and there is a link to our YouTube channel. And our YouTube channel is loaded with information. There's playlists of Come Alive calls. There's playlists of the Shred Your Body calls. All of the last 6 months of ER Shred Come Alive calls, the testimonials have been broken down. So you can go in and listen to a 5-10 minute testimonial of real results from real people that are authentically sharing their story. And sometimes that's the motivation you might need to get you through the hump. So it's all in here. Reach out as you have questions. Always reach back to the person that invited you to the community. If you have questions, post them. Again, though, we need to remind you that we are welcoming 500 plus shredders a month, which is an amazing result. But the shred is the shred, and the first 11 days need to be strict to baseline. So even if you tried something different, that is not the 11-day. So please keep that to yourself. Do not coach somebody who is struggling and wants to do an 11-day with something that is not on the protocol. That's really important to all of us to keep the messaging clear. We know too that this is a lifestyle and we're exploring our food blueprint. So just as those posts are coming through as well, we love to see you exploring. Just remind shredders that it is part of your lifestyle, your maintenance, your blueprint as you are exploring your food, as you are coaching. But that's what I've got for you guys. The tools are at your disposal, and so is this community.
Perfect. Thank you so much, Heather. That's awesome.
Thanks.
Hopefully people understand the value and utilize I would think hundreds of hours that you've put into now at this point, organizing all of this for us. So I, for one, am extremely grateful, and I hope people really take that. So next up, if you guys have not met her yet, Miss Susan Rothman, she is just an amazing human being. I've never met somebody who cares truly more about wanting people to feel amazing in their life. And it's crazy, you know, this all comes through your own personal struggle. And Susan's definitely had hers, and she shared that before. But Susan is She's a RN. She works in functional medicine in the holistic space. And again, like I said, she just cares deeply. So, Susan, what do you got for us tonight?
Okay. Yeah. I'm always blown away when Heather does the setup because the the gravity and the depth of the information in this group is just unbelievable. And a lot of us come into this and we don't really care about how or why. We just want to, you might want to lose a few pounds. You're going to get way more than you bargained for. And human nature is, even if you don't look at things, by day 3, 4, 5, 6, you're going to be like, all right, what's going on? That's what happened to me. It's like, all right, what's going on over here? My brain is lit up. I feel amazing. So this simple, basic protocol. And tonight, all we're talking about tonight really is your 11-day baseline shred, which is opening the door to freedom and empowerment. So we're removing all food irritants, all culprits. You're eating very simple meals, top quality, with not a lot of variation. They're simple meals, easily digestible, and removing all these irritants, culprits, we call them, and rebalancing the gut. Then we're going into reset days where we're replenishing and restoring the body. We're starting that process. Everybody comes to this with different things. Some people really have some health issues. Other people, in 11 days, they come alive. And we see that. And to come alive, you hear that a lot in our community. And that is different for everyone. Some people, it's day 5. Some people it's day 7. Some people it's day 21. So whatever your goals are, and I like that. I've never said it that way before, to where this truly is just opening the door, and you're going to get way more than you bargained for in this house. Because as I've interacted with this, now I'm at this place where I'm becoming empowered on what carbohydrates, and I'm talking about vegetables, serve me, and using that in a very intricate way of what my true food blueprint is, to be feeling amazing all the time. And it took me a year to get to this point. And then the other thing that I love about this is mindset, that we get to tear down these crap beliefs that we have about foods, demonizing foods. It's this way, it's that way. And the empowerment that comes from not having to look at an article, read a book. In my career, I've always been experiential. So anything that I recommended, I did first, from macrobiotic to vegan. Okay. So I experienced this. And, yeah, right, Jesse. And I've never in my life seen anything like this, even for my own self personally, but what's happening for other people. And the thing that fills my heart is what's happening in the wellness space. And it's so simple, and there's no magic here. You remove the crap, you put in the good stuff, your body's a miracle, and everything just opens up. And then the mindset piece is you get to shred for, I don't know why, we can't figure out why, but all of a sudden you become aware of things around you and questioning beliefs. And does this serve me? And, so what I would say at the end of the day, because I know Jesse has a lot to say too, is just follow the script. If it's not on the script, no, you can't have it. You can have it, even if it's like something so simple. Because I know for each one of us, we were surprised at foods that didn't resonate with us and things that we were eating every single day. So this is a gift. It's actually a labor of love. I guarantee you're going to get, if you stick, you're going to get way more than what you bargained for. And I do encourage you guys to read to look at my video, The Road to Empowerment. There are snacks that you can have that, like jerky and pork rinds, but I mean, I like the fact that we're not really eating processed foods as shredders. So you can have those things, but I do encourage you to stay away from them, especially if you're having cravings. And it just comes down to trusting the process, getting what you want. And, like on the days you want to cave, well, Jesse will say his line, but mine is just who's in charge here. You came in here for a reason. And sometimes I say that out loud. just who's in charge here. When I'm starting, my chatter's going in my head that I can have this or that or whatever it might be. Anyway, I look forward to hearing all your results. We live for this. Because I said this to someone today that's starting. It's like, we're going to end up friends, and I get to watch you go through this, which is, I know my brother Jesse, it's so very, very rewarding. So I'm going to turn it over to you, Jess.
Thanks so much, Susan. That's so awesome. So, yeah, I would just share with people, you've touched on so much. I would remind people that remember the bigger picture. Remember the bigger picture. I think it's sadly, we have been programmed like robots, basically, over the decades. And we've been programmed, right, to believe like times that we should eat, times that we shouldn't eat. There's so much, right? Marketing, media, magazines. Like, I'm going to call a big fat BS on all of it. And I'm going to say that this is one of the best explorational journeys that you will ever be on in your entire life. And if you can think of it as that, as an journey for the bigger picture, and the 11 days that you're about to embark on is the stepping stones, like Susan said, to get you to that bigger piece. That's the most beautiful thing. How do you get through 11 days? Do one more. Just do one more. What do I mean by that? Wake up tomorrow and do it again. Wake up the next day and do it again. Make one better choice. Make one better move. Drink one more glass of water. Eat one less teaspoon of sugar. Just do one more. You can't succeed unless you start. You can't succeed unless you start. So congratulations to every single one of you for being here right now, because you're already 10 steps ahead, 50, 100 steps ahead of the person that's still contemplating their choices on the couch. So just do one more. Be willing to unlearn, to relearn. Be willing to unlearn, to relearn. Susan and I had a beautiful conversation about this the other night, and it's what makes a science brain a science brain. Our belief today in science could be proven wrong tomorrow by new research. So be willing to unlearn what you think the truth is and love yourself enough to give yourself permission to relearn. You have the answers inside of you. You are your own best doctor. You are your own best coach. We just want to be your cheerleaders. We don't have all the answers for you. So the exploration piece, using the guides, tapping into your mindset, using the community like Susan talked about, that's the bigger picture of what this is. Dig deep and dig inside. I want to highly recommend to you that you embark on this journey for not an extrinsic reason, not an externally motivated reason, meaning I need to lose weight so I can go to a wedding. Okay, if that's the motivation to get you started, bravo. That will not be the discipline that it will take to keep you going. You need to reach inside yourself and figure out the intrinsic reason that you deserve to love yourself enough every day to choose healthy, because that's what I believe that the path of health is. It's choosing to love yourself every day and say, I love you, because that's what we deserve. Everybody deserves to feel amazing, right? That's really the big message that I want to share with people to wrap things up. The 11 days is your tracks to run on. Heather laid it out for you. You don't need to panic. You don't need to know all the answers. Why? Because it's all there for you. Susan laid it out so beautifully that all we're doing is removing the poison. The excess sugar is poison. the gluten, the glyphosate, all the extra additives, the food additives, the gels, the gums, the dyes. It's poison in the pharmaceutical doses that we are choosing to expose our bodies to on a daily basis as average people today. Not to mention the water, the air, the mattresses we sleep on, and everything else that we have to worry about, right? So keep it simple, like Susan says, remove it. Give your body the space, love it enough to give it back life, and only choose to fuel it with rocket fuel, right? I mean, look at yourself as a Ferrari. You're not going to pull up and put the cheap gas in every day. Put in the high octane. So 11 days is your stepping stone. Utilize the group. You don't have to be perfect. There is no failure. Please understand this. There is no failing unless you quit on yourself. There is no failing unless you quit on yourself, friends, right? We believe in you. We believe in you so much. You just got to believe in yourself. And I can appreciate that might take time. But you got to start believing that you can make it happen if you ever want to see something through. So we're going to cheer you on. We're going to root for you. We're going to keep answering your questions with questions to get you digging back inside yourself. We're going to keep referring you to the guides because we believe that much in you that you're going to figure this out. This is the simplest thing that I've ever seen in my 20 plus years. Susan will tell you the same thing. We have never seen the results that we have seen for the long period of times in anything that we've done. And we have stretched the span, right, over our careers and watched it all and seen it all and tried it all. This is hands down the simplest, I believe, one of the safest ways to get your body back to a true baseline, and then for you to create that magical thing that we call our food blueprint. That's what's going to guide you to amazing, optimal health for the rest of your life, and that's truly all we want from you. So that's what I got, guys. Anybody else have any last-minute additions that they'd like to say to anybody that's about ready to jump in to their first, maybe 4th, 10th, 11th, who knows, shred tomorrow? Any last words to go off with?
Just
do it. Just
have
do
fun. Enjoy the ride. It's a journey.
That's it. That's it. All right, guys, listen, I
Peace out.
appreciate you guys so much. The value, the work that you guys put into this. We've become amazing friends, and I just want to say I appreciate all of you, and I love what we're doing together, this ultimate mission of transforming lives, truly caring about people, truly making a difference. I couldn't think of a better group of people to do it, so I appreciate you all, and we're rooting for you guys. We hope you all have a kick-ass shred, and we'll see you in the group. Bye-bye.